May Cry 3 fixes practically every issue Devil May Cry 2 had. This feels much more like the original Devil May Cry in all the best ways. Despite it being number 3, Dante's Awakening is actually a prequel story of brother versus brother, and in this special edition you get to play as both. Dante's campaign taking around 9 hours to complete, and Virgil's campaign, which runs parallel to Dante's, taking a little more than an hour and a half. With this game they basically threw away Devil May Cry 2 and pretended it never happened. Nothing is borrowed from that game at all. This is practically a more polished Devil May Cry 1, though in my opinion doesn't quite take the crown as my favorite game in the series. The combat is back to being fast and fluent, no more spongy enemies, just slaying them and pulling off the best combo moves you can in battle to collect red orbs to upgrade your weapons and buy consumable items. However, for the first half of the game, it's highly focused on just pure combat, no demon transformations. Though it does eventually come, and much like the first game, the meter fills quickly, so you can use it freely, making this game fun again. And new as a style option, your character could be more powerful with certain weapons, or you can have the ability to roll out of the way during combat, for example. You have to pick and choose, which I appreciate being here, but I would have preferred more having the ability to unlock it all and not have to choose. The greatest improvement this game makes is in its bosses. I found these bosses to be the most challenging in the series and the coolest in the series. I love their design, though still, the first game's bosses are still my favorite. But these are miles above Devil May Cry 2. You'll definitely have to use skill here to defeat these foes. None though I found to be impossibly frustrating. If I died I always felt I could get them next time. My biggest problem with this game though is its delivery. This is more the style of the first game where you're in a giant building doing a lot of retrieving items and backtracking. However, this game is essentially 2 times the length of the first, so backtracking here isn't fun or cool. It ultimately felt overwhelming to me, especially when there's a big center room with multiple floors and doors and you can't remember which one you've been through, and when you finally get through and pick up an item, you have no idea what this item is for or where the slot was that this item goes to progress. I was disappointed in how often I got impatient with the maze-like aspect of this game, just resorting to YouTube to know where I should be going with the item that I just picked up. It's a shame because this game is so polished compared to the others. It just drops the ball when trying to be a longer version of the first game. The adventure aspects worked in the first game so well because the adventure was so compact and easy to remember. It just doesn't work here. But still, in its own ways, Devil May Cry 3 is just as great of a game thanks to its more polished feeling combat, the fix of the perspective and lock-on issues. Devil May Cry 3 is definitely a cherry on top of this trilogy, and I'm sorry for Devil May Cry 2. I give Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition HD an 8 out of 10.